What is a humbucker? A humbucker, or humbucking pickup, is a type of guitar pickup or transducer that's designed to literally buck the hum, to control or to eliminate any undesirable noise induced into the pickup. To understand the concept, we need to go back to the dawn of the electric guitar era. The original guitar pickups consisted of a single coil of wire wrapped around a magnet. When the string vibrates in the magnetic field, a signal is created in the coil of wire that can be sent to an amplifier to be turned into sound waves. These types of pickups, of course, are known as single coil pickups, and they're very popular to this day because of their bright tone and their responsiveness. Single coil pickups work great for capturing the tone of vibrating guitar strings, but unfortunately the problem is they also work great for picking up EMI, or electromagnetic interference, which is hum, static, and noise radiating in the air. In fact, a single coil pickup serves as a fairly effective antenna for EMI. Now, when you combine this tendency with the amount of amplification many guitar players use, the result is very audible hum in the signal that only increases or gets worse as the gain is turned up. A humbucker, or humbucking pickup, on the other hand, uses two coils of wire that are out of polarity. One's flipped negative versus positive compared to the other. Each coil is again wound around a magnet of opposite polarity, so one is flipped magnetic north versus magnetic south compared to the other. Now, it's sort of a tricky concept to explain, but the two coils of wire being out of polarity and the two magnets being out of polarity results in the signals created in the pickup by the guitar strings actually being in phase or in polarity when the two coils are combined at the pickup's output. So we've got negative flipped, and again, when you combine those together, they're actually in phase. So the two out of polarity aspects result in an overall in phase result, and depending on how it's designed and wired, this generally gives a humbucking pickup a stronger, thicker, darker sound than a single coil pickup. Now, any hum that's induced into the two coils of wire, as opposed to signal that's created by a string moving in the pickup's magnetic field, hum that's actually induced into the coil, this is canceled out by the two coils of wire being out of polarity. So it's a brilliant, simple method for canceling hum, and you also get a stronger desired signal. It's very cool. So who invented the humbucking pickup? The humbucking coil was invented in 1934 for microphones and PA systems by Al Kahn and Lou Burrows at Electro-Voice right here in Indiana, in fact. And there's a patent on record for a guitar pickup invented by Arnold Lesty in 1935. The humbucking pickup for pianos was patented in 1938 for Baldwin piano. There was even an article in a 1939 issue of Radiocraft magazine showing how to make a humbucking guitar pickups, and there are others as well. For example, Rickenbacker offered double coil guitar pickups in 1953, though they discontinued them in 1954 because they preferred the brighter sound to single coils. But the credit for the humbucker is popularly given to Seth Lover, who worked at Gibson with the great Ted McCarty, who was president of the company at the time, back in the 1950s. The pickup Seth Lover designed became known as the PAF, which stood for Patent Applied For, and it's closely associated with the vintage Gibson Les Pauls and other models of the late 1950s. But what many people don't know is that Ray Butts at Gretsch was also working on a similar pickup at the same time, which became known as the Filtertron. And in fact, even though Gibson applied for their patent 2 years earlier, Gretsch was granted their patent 4 weeks before Gibson. And as an interesting side note, some trivia if you're ever on Jeopardy, Seth Lover also designed Fender's first humbucker, the wide range pickup. And through the years, there have been a number of variations on those original humbuckers, such as those that use stack coils instead of side-by-side coils like a traditional humbucker. These stacked humbuckers, first introduced by DiMarzio in the early 1980s, are designed to give the sound of a single coil pickup, but with the benefit of less noise and hum. Another approach is to use two coils in the pickup, but with one coil under just the top 3 strings, while the other coil is under the bottom 3 strings. An example of this is G&L's Z-coil design. The split pickup in a Fender P-Bass uses a similar approach, with one coil under the top 2 strings and the other coil under the bottom 2 strings. In those two cases, the pickups create a single coil tone because each string is only seeing a single coil, but they're still hum canceling. And this same humbucker approach can also be applied to guitars with multiple single coil pickups. For example, in a Stratocaster, if the middle pickup is reverse wound in reverse polarity compared to the neck and bridge pickups, when the bridge and middle pickups or the neck and middle pickups are used together, the results will be humbucking. If you want to learn more about audio and music concepts like this, visit the news and research page at sweetwater.com or check out the other videos in our glossary terms playlist.